Happy November 19th, guys. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know there was an International Men's Day. I'm glad there is. I wish we all celebrated it. I wish we all celebrated men a little bit more every single day. But here's some statistics that some of you may know, some of you may not. Let's just have a look. Men are the reason we have civilization. That's not one of the statistics, that's just where I'm starting out. Men are the reason we have Western civilization. Men are the reason why women have the comfortable lives that we have. Men are the reason we have air conditioning and mattresses and heat and beautiful homes and all of the things that, men are simple. They don't require a lot of those luxuries to live. They did that for their women. And I don't think we're repaying them very well at all. Here's another thing that they do in a roundabout way, some of it for their women or because of them, because of how they get just trampled in family court for one reason or another, because their mental health issues are ignored, because they're not believed when they say they've had abuse by a woman. Oh, that's not possible. Sorry, it is. And it's rampant. Men make up 76% of all suicides. They are 85% of our homeless population. It's a lot of shelters for women and children, a lot of outreach for women and children. Not a lot for men. We treat them as if they're disposable. We treat them that way. 70% of homicides are men. 40% of domestic violence is directed at men. I personally believe that is way underreported because most men they don't want to be victims. They're not as comfortable playing the victim role to say, oh, this happened to me, oh, poor me. It's just not how they're wired. Women, on the other hand, were like, oh my God, I was victimized. Oh my God, he made eye contact. But men could be beat in the face and not report it. They also know if they call the authorities, this just makes me so mad. They know if they call the authorities, the immediate assumption is going to be that they're the perpetrator. So if they're being beat up at home by a woman and they're just trying to defend themselves, because they know one punch could just end her, and they don't want to do that. If they call the police and the police are coming on a domestic violence call, immediately their guard is up and they think the perpetrator is definitely the man. The man's life is in danger at that point. So I really believe 40% of domestic violence is directed at men. That's got to be way underreported, just based off of logic. They are the victims of most violent crime. They serve 64% longer prison sentences. Women are good at oh, well, because they can explain why. There's always a reason why they did something wrong. Moral relativism. I have said it before, I'll say it again. Women are experts at moral relativism. I can tell you, when I've done something that is not good. I can't really think of an example right now, but let's say I'm talking with my fiance and I get an attitude and I snap at him, which in our relationship is just not allowed. He'll be like, excuse me? And I'm like, and right away, my woman brain, starts coming up with why. What are my excuses? Why was it okay for me to do that? Like immediately. It's like we are wired to be like, no, 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 I didn't do anything wrong. It's because of this, or it's because I have PMS, or I have a headache, or I'm defending myself. I felt accused. No, if you do something wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't matter what the reason or the explanation is. So we need to quit with the moral relativism. Anyway, that's a side note. Men make up 92% of deaths in the workplace. You know, getting sick and tired of people, women, saying, there aren't enough women in the STEM fields. There aren't enough women in engineering. There aren't enough women in, math and science and technology. First of all, we're not as good at math and science as men are. We're just not. And we don't tend to like it as much. But here's my point. You don't hear people saying, why don't we have more women on oil rigs? Why aren't there more women in the coal mines? The people in the coal mines should reflect society. No one says that. No one's advocating for women to be in these dangerous careers that men perform every single day, so that, these are jobs that our civilization depends on. Oil, coal, and there's a bunch of things that I don't even know what they are, just based on my own ignorance. But what I know is that men take on the dangerous careers. They just do. And they're not doing it for the glory. They're not doing it for themselves. They do it historically, genetically, biologically. At the heart of it, they're doing it for us and for civilization and for their families. Men they love very sacrificially. And that goes unnoticed and under-celebrated. They are 3.4 times more likely than a woman to be imprisoned for the same crime. Again, same deal. Woman's like, but, I was stressed, but I didn't know. It's always an excuse. There's always a reason. And you've either got, a judge that's a woman that's like, oh, yes, I understand. Okay, we will mediate that sentence. Or you have a simp judge that's like, oh, you poor sweet, and he's white knighting. Or you have a mix-up of the jury, same issues. Just remember that whole thing, believe women. Why? That makes no sense. Believe women. That makes no sense at all. They're way more likely to lie. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm an alien. And let's not forget that when you're an 18-year-old boy, you have to register for the draft. I didn't have to register for the draft. All the ladies who are still watching, props to you. You didn't have to register for the draft. Well, why? Why not? You want equality? Do you really? Then I guess you better get your ass on the oil rig and you better sign up for the draft. I don't want to do those things. I like the patriarchy. I love and appreciate what men have created for us in Western civilization, where we don't have to go to war, where we don't have to be on the oil rig. We get the privilege of staying at home and raising babies and cooking meals and, just taking care of the nest. That's not oppression. That is being put on a pedestal. So, happy International Men's Day. And also to all you men, I'm so sorry. And thank you.